Why do I attract all these abusive people in my life who treats me like I'm a doormat? Why do I have these people around me constantly, dragging me down? I feel so much better now that I've shared this epiphany because it took me years and years to realize this, guys. You don't need a lot of years to get this cycle over and over. You just have one person to tell you, hey, I've gone exactly the same experience as you, and this is what I did. Hello tribes, it's me again, Donna Bliss Vlogs, and I'm here to share my epiphany yesterday. I just have time today. Yesterday I just slept because you know what they say when epiphanies happen to you when you're very relaxed and your body is in a calm state, in a meditative state. That's what happened. The reason why I'm so excited to tell you my epiphany is because it took me years and years to get this. And yesterday, it's because of this person. He said, bad chapters can be great stories. This happened to me a long time ago. Let's just call this guy Glitch. I call him Glitch because he's in and out of my life, in my reality, and I could not understand for the life of me, and I have been trying to put the puzzles and I just couldn't until yesterday. And I have been praying to find the answers and find reasons why I had to meet him over and over in my life, and it never worked out for both of us. It happened just like that I understood why. I broke up with this guy called Glitch, right? And he came back to my life asking to be my friend a long time ago. And I said, well, I have lots of friends and I don't need any more friends. And then he convinced me for some reason. Yeah, it was okay. We just talk sometimes. And then there was a point in time when he had issues and I've gone through his issues too. So that's why we can relate to each other. So we started talking about, relationships and stuff. There was a point in time when that phase of my life, I had trouble with my relationship. And he was there. I felt so embarrassed to talk to my best friend about my relationship that time because I used to be the one giving her advice. So when you give advice, it's like it's hard to ask for advice. You know what I mean? So that was the reason why I had to tell somebody else. That's how we had this connection of like talking to each other. So fast forward to my story, me and Glitch had this connection. It is a very strong bond because of sharing our innermost issues, insecurities, and when you're vulnerable to somebody, it becomes a very good bond. So that's what we had. And then suddenly we had a fallout. And so I said, okay, I was having so much that time that I need to just give up other energies. So I had to give up Glitch. So I said goodbye to him. After I said goodbye to him, just like that, epiphanies came in my brain. Lots of realization about my past traumas. I can count 3 past traumas that suddenly, after I dropped Glitch, came back to me and was like, oh my gosh, it's true what they're saying. That is what the psychologists and therapists in YouTube are trying to tell, that when you're too emotionally attached to a situation, it's better to detach from it so you can see the situation in a different perspective. Because when you're too emotional, it's like you make bad decisions. And I have been beating myself up for welcoming Glitch into my life over and over and hurting me over and over. And I said, I can't find the reason why. What's the point of him being in my life? And there's so much pain that he gives me. And then why does he keep on coming back? Why do I keep on welcoming him back? You know what I learned? Because I haven't learned the lesson. I have been too focused on what I'm feeling emotionally and don't see the objective side of it. And you know, you can only relate to me when, for example, why am I a magnet with bad friends who use me for money? Why do I attract all these abusive people in my life who treats me like I'm a doormat? Why do I have these people around me constantly, dragging me down? It is because you haven't learned the lesson. You haven't said no to these people. You haven't taught them a lesson or taught them how to treat you. They've always treat you like a doormat because you let them. You never say no to them. That's the point that I'm saying, that all these patterns, all these people who are coming to you, it's because of your choices. That's what happened to me and to Glitch. Maybe you have to teach these people boundaries, your boundary. For example, there's a friend who always asks for assistance, financial assistance. And you're asking, why does this person always comes to me? Well, maybe because you never say no to them, even if they're not paying. I finally found the reason why he kept on coming back into my life. Because he's just a mirror of where I was not free, where I should put my energy into. Like, what are the things I don't want in a relationship? He taught me that, and he taught me to love myself more, to say no to people who doesn't give back to me or give back a reciprocal energy. When a friend comes to you for advice, okay, that's good. But if this friend comes to you over and over to get your energy and doesn't give you back anything, that's not a balanced relationship, guys. And this is what psychologists and therapists are telling you. You need to be in a relationship where you can benefit and your partner can benefit in return. Not necessarily partner, but two people who reciprocate each other's energy. That's a balanced relationship. See, before my epiphany, I kept on saying, I'm a victim. This person keeps on hurting me. But actually, I am not seeing straight. I am not seeing the whole picture right in front of me. And he's given me a lot. I was just too blind to see it because I was like, oh my God, he hurt me. Oh my gosh, I'm a victim. Oh my God, why do I kept on being the sponge for all the negative and bad things, or just let everybody use me, energetically? Having Glitch in my life has given me, yes, a bad chapter, but when I'm 70 or 80 years old, oh my gosh, just even now that I see crystal clear what he has given me and why he kept on coming back in my life, I need to learn the lesson. Just like you, learn the lesson so it doesn't keep on coming back. Me and Glitch doesn't talk anymore, but how I wish I could turn back time and tell him something that I've always wanted to tell him, but I felt like he's never ready to hear the truth. Spiritual guru said, when you're ready to be a student, the teacher will just appear. And I feel like he needed to be ready first. He needed to heal first before he can absorb what I'm trying to tell him. The irony of it all was that he was first my teacher a long time ago. He was the first one who taught me how to take care of nature, what's the importance of taking care of the planet. He taught me love in a pure essence, like love for animals. Believe it or not, he taught me that, and I wanted to tell him, but I never had a chance. And what I really wanted to tell him was that you can never heal from somebody who was the reason for your trauma. In his case, it was his father, because his father left when he was very young. And what I'm trying to say was that because of all this research that I did for 2 years now about childhood trauma, psychologist says that, they study brain and behaviors of people. That's why you can trust psychologists. Something happens to your brain when you have trauma. And if you have trauma when you're 3 or 4 years old, more often than not, kids will think that something's wrong with them, or maybe they are the reason why a parent left. When you're not aware, you can be 60, 70, 80 years old, and if you've never ever have some knowledgeable people around you who tell you this about trauma and what psychologists found out, you'll never know that you've been having these unhealthy relationships all your life. They said that if you have trauma when you were a young age, your brain, you stop in that period of time when you told yourself this narrative of yourself that something's wrong with you. That's why your parent left. And you will go through life all these bad relationships because you have this narrative. And it's what's common to people like this, especially with divorced parents. And this is why some people have abandonment issues. Some people can't commit to a stable relationship because they're so afraid to fail, to be abandoned, or they abandon first before they can be abandoned. Everything is just fear, living in fear, because this is what was your narrative when you were 3. And even if you're 40, 50, 60, you still think like this. And it's what's common to people like this who never had counseling or therapy. This is how their brain works. That's why I'm telling you, when you don't have knowledgeable people around you, you tend to ask advice from wrong people. One good example of a friend of mine, she always finds out her dad is cheating all the time, and it gave her trauma with men. Even when she's in her 40s now, she still suffers, and she still thinks that all men will cheat, because she stopped believing in men because of her dad. And this is a trauma response, guys, just like what I told you about glitch. Because of this trauma, it hinders us from having a good and healthy relationship with a partner. So I'll wrap up my story with, I had a bad chapter with glitch, but it is a great story because he has given me so much. And I have been whinging about me having to welcome into my life and him giving me pain all the time. But what's the silver lining of the story, of my story, is that how much he's given me, the realization that he has given me when he came back into my life. So when you have bad relationships, it doesn't mean it's really, really bad. It can be a great story if you just realize what it's teaching you. Light and love.
If you like videos like this, please consider subscribing so you will receive my weekly videos. Light and love.
I don't need nobody else.